Okay, welcome in. Had a really fun position and kind of finishing pattern in a recent game, so I wanted to share it with everyone. I'm playing with white pieces, and it is white to move here. The material is the same, but this is very much a winning position for white. You can see kind of I have this really nice pass pawn on b6. It's kind of it's in a convoy with this rook that's already on the 7th rank. My king is really nicely protected by the king pawns. Black's king, not so much. The f pawn is missing. And even though the bishop is currently kind of protecting this diagonal, the queen is, lined up really nicely with the black king. My knight's in attacking position. The bishops are ready to go. So this is a nice position for white. Black does have a lot of really nice active pieces. So if white doesn't play well, black could certainly have some winning chances, but would rather take white here. So it's white to move, and the engine wants white to take on e6 with the knight. This forks the queen and the rook, so it essentially forces black to take back with this knight. But now, we kind of have this really nice pin available. We can sort of move this knight anywhere we want to. We can take the pawn on e5, and now the queen is pinning the knight to the king. And it's not easy to defend this knight. You can certainly do it, but the queen can't come to d7 because the knight protects d7. Maybe the queen comes here, but this is a tough position to play for black because we have this nice pressure. And this is a theme we're going to see. I didn't make that move first. Instead, what I did instead of taking the bishop was I played bishop to f3. I couldn't resist kind of getting another attacker sort of on the a8 square. Just in case, I have ideas later of pushing my pawn to b7 and then kind of bringing my rook to the 8th rank. Maybe pawn takes whatever takes the rook, and I have this nice kind of long range protection from the bishop here. So I couldn't resist that move. This is actually a blunder. Black now is totally fine if he plays bishop to d5. Now completely clogging up both of these really crucial diagonals for white. It's protected twice by the knights, so very stable bishop. So this was a blunder on my part. Fortunately, black instead played bishop to b8, attacking this rook and kind of threatening to exchange this rook for a lesser piece. So I'm fortunate that black made that move, and I went ahead and made the move that the engine had suggested earlier, taking the bishop. Again, I'm forking the queen and the rook, so black really has no choice but to take with the knight. So knight takes here, and then I took the pawn with this knight, again creating this nice pin. So you have to defend the knight, otherwise the knight will fall and the king will be on the run and everything will be difficult. So the queen, he played queen to d6, and this d6 square wasn't available before because the dark squared bishop was on it. But now the dark squared bishop has moved back to the 8th rank, so the queen. That's not what I wanted to do. So the queen can come and protect the knight. I'm pretty sure that's what he did. Yeah, that's what he did. So now the queen is protecting this knight, and an added bonus is that the queen is attacking my knight, which is currently hanging, and the queen can take this knight happily, right? Because then he'll still be protecting his knight, which is on the line with the king. So I play bishop to d4. Again, it looks like my bishop is hanging, but if queen takes bishop, then my queen happily takes the knight. We're going to enter into a really nice combination, which we'll see. So instead of taking the bishop, he actually used his dark square bishop to take my rook, and I took back with the pawn. And now my ideas are this move, even though it was the incorrect move, is turning out to be nice here because I'm able to kind of promote my pawn and have this long range support from the bishop. So he kind of looked at this position for a bit and thought he was okay if he left this knight undefended. He decided to take this bishop, which is hanging, and this kind of black is ahead in material technically, but this pawn is obviously worth a lot. So but for the pieces on the board, black is ahead of material. But this actually leads to a really devastating attack. Letting this knight go, leaving this knight undefended gives just white a really nice attack, and it's really tough as black because it's tempting to kind of put the queen on the square, because if queen is able to play a1, if black can move twice and queen plays a1, then that leads to checkmate, right? A nice back rank. Actually, it wouldn't lead to checkmate. The queen could play here, and then the white queen defends and the bishop defends the queen. So maybe not. But black is in a nice position in case white makes any mistakes to deliver some back rank issues for white. But here instead, I took this knight. It's undefended. Sorry, I don't. Yes. So he retreated his king to h8, and here there's actually a forced mate, and I think 14 moves or something. I didn't see the forced mate, but I saw kind of a combo that would lead to a really nice attack, and it was able to turn into mate. So here I just promoted my pawn to a queen, and again I have to be careful when making this move because now the queen is threatening a1, which would lead to checkmate after the bishop blocks. But when I play this pawn promotion, my queen is protecting a1, so he can't deliver checkmate. So he, in this position, it is best for, the engine recommends that the queen kind of moves to the f file to protect this rook, and sort of prevent queen takes rook checkmate. Because that's clearly what I'm threatening, is just taking the rook with checkmate. So that's kind of what the engine wants, but I think any human is just going to automatically play the move, or maybe not a grandmaster, but most humans are going to play the move rook takes on a8, because kind of they see two queens on the board, they see the threat of checkmate with one move, and this queen is hanging, so why not take the queen? And now there's two threats, right? Black can play checkmate, a move leading to checkmate with either the rook or the queen. They can both get to a1. So white has to be really, really careful here. But the nice thing is that this leads to a really nice winning combination. So I'm going to take a second and pause and see if you can find kind of the nice finishing combination for white. Okay, hopefully you found it and didn't play something kind of cowardly like h3, which would give the king some breathing space. Yeah, hopefully you decided on knight to f7. So this is going to put the king in a total whirlwind and end in a really nice finishing picture. The only move here is king to g8, and from here we play knight to h6, which is double check from the knight and the queen. So the king has to move. You can't just take with the pawn because the king, king is in check from the queen. King has two legal moves. If the king moves to f8, then the queen delivers checkmate here. So instead, the king retreats to g8, and now the queen comes down to kind of lock the king in its spot. So queen g8, the queen is protected from the knight, so you cannot play, you can't play king takes queen. Instead, you take with the rook, and here the really nice finisher is knight to f7, delivering a beautifully smothered checkmate on the king. So, the king is totally locked in by the rook and the two knights. And this is a really frustrating final position, a really nice final position for white, really frustrating final position for black. White has just two minor pieces. Black has, a queen, rook, a knight, a really nice pass pawn. And hey, black is one move away from, really two moves away, but one move away from delivering a checkmating pattern. So this is like a very, tantalizingly close game for black, but really exciting finish. So I wanted to share with you. It's not often that you see a smothered mate in the wild. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.